Tenez-moi. Oui, meow.
Oh my God, it's a lion.
It's a lawsuit on Godfrey. Oh my God. You know there's a lawsuit on that, right?
On the song
I'll talk
from
about
the
it.
movie.
We'll talk about it in just a second.
Yes.
All right, here we go. The Lunsby Show with
TuBaur.
And Chick Brew.
Let's God bless. All these years, just get it right one time.
What do you want from me?
40 years they've been trying. You couldn't fire somebody if they were horrible, doing a terrible job for the veterans. And now you can say, you're fired.
Okay. No one listens to radio.
And now for a quick disclaimer.
The Lunsby Show with
TuBaur
And Chick Brew.
is brought to you by nobody. We have no sponsors.
The show is still rated G.
For Gloria.
Hi, hello, my friend. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good is good, yeah. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. Welcome back, if you will. I am T-Bone. That is Chick Brew. We are two people. We get together once a week. We live on opposite sides of the world. We talk about things, and we try to make you laugh. Speaking of things to talk about. Oh, we guarantee one laugh an hour as well. Speaking of things to talk about, we've moved right past Afro Man, and we went into comedian land and the Lion King opening song controversy.
I do love a controversy.
Yes. So he is on a podcast with one of the people I do know is Godfrey. Godfrey's there on the podcast with him. And he says that the words to the opening lines of the Lion King are, look, it's a lion.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. It's a lion. And it's very funny, which is what comedy is meant to do. What comedy does not need to do is be truthful. It doesn't require truth. You can make fun of things and lie about things, even when they called him out and said, that's not true. And he goes, it's absolutely true. It's 100% true. He's making fun. It's a joke. And it's even funnier. You know, spot checking people for posting things always drives me nuts. I Googled that. That's not true. Did you believe it in the moment? Because that's what it mattered. In the moment, when I was making...
funny. It was just fun.
Yeah, when I was making this thing up, it was for fun and laughter. It didn't have to be true. But it wasn't true. It was whatever. We left last week. I got a whole bunch of little things I want to talk about this week, which makes for a better show. When I come prepared, and you remember what me being prepared looks like, right?
A bunch of scribbles. No one, just the writings of a madman.
When we were in the radio station, as soon as I would get into the building, I'd grab a blank piece of paper, I'd grab a pen, and I would just start writing ideas, things quickly. And then we would talk, and that would give me room to write down another idea or another direction to go. But while we were doing that, music was playing. So the audience was distracted by the fact that Justin Timberlake's latest hit was out, or here is a girl with the face that's always hidden making song music.
Face.
So while the music was playing, I'd write a little bit more about the idea down, and then when we'd come back to a mic break, things flowed really, really well. When you could take a break every 2 minutes, you could take a 4-minute break. But in the podcast format, we have to keep going. There's no such thing as dead air. You got to keep talking. And I take crap over that. People give me the business because I'm doing the heavy lifting. And not...
Well, that's why you're so strong.
It's not that I haven't tried to pass the heavy lift on to my partner. She just, she does. So anyway... I
am just but a wee lady.
I said all that to say this. I got a list of things that I want to talk about this week, and it's a good list. Hopefully we'll get through most of it. But let's talk about the cliffhanger you left us with last week. We were just getting ready to get into it, but we were running out of time. We were talking about how your neighbor is, and I quote, mildly inconveniencing you.
Yes.
Yes. Tell us about your neighbor mildly. I mean, we just watched Jack Reacher beat the snot out of his neighbor because his neighbor came out and pushed him off of his motorcycle.
Yes,
I don't know if you knew who the John Reacher guy is, but not a guy you want to...
Jack Reacher.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've read all the books. It's Jack.
Okay. All right. Well, all I remember is there was Tom Hanks, and it wasn't believable. And then there was...
No, Tom Cruise. He was too short.
If you were looking at me when I was giving you the
Look,
winky.
you let me be the subject matter expert on this, okay?
I was giving you the winky when I said Tom Hanks. I thought that was funny. Winky.
Tom Hanks would have been fantastic because he's fantastic in all that he does.
Not true. He sucked in Saving Private Ryan.
I didn't watch that one.
Tell us how your neighbors have been mildly inconveniencing you.
So they've been parking I guess they own a company. And so they have many vans associated with this company. And they've been parking them along the street, like an entire fleet of vans for a business.
Yes.
Parked along the street.
Yes.
It is so
legally parked on the street.
Legally parked on the street, 100%. Yeah, no, they're doing that fine. But one, they're massive and you can't see around them to see if cars are racing down the street. So you have to exit very slowly. Very annoying. Also, because they're taking up all the street parking, and in Spain, people don't like to park in their driveways.
No. Who needs
Us as Americans,
driveway?
we park in our driveways. And if we didn't park in our driveways, there would be no parking left. So our neighbors have had to start parking on the road that comes down towards our driveway because all of the street parking is full of these work vans. So then when I have to back into my driveway, it takes too long. I should be able to straight down. And I don't think that you should have your whole business parked in a residential parking on the street.
Well, it is good advertisement, I'll say that.
No, because they're so inconvenient. They could be offering the service of the one thing I need, and I would be like, anyone but them. Oh, they'll do it for free? Absolutely not.
Have you considered, is there another place where they could park nearby that would be okay with you?
That's not my problem. I don't know. They could figure it out.
Or you could give them the solution. It doesn't sound like you're interested in finding a solution. It sounds like you're interested in just complaining. And even then, only mildly complaining. Like you slightly slipped it in. You fit it in. Was it fit it in or slip it in?
Slip it in.
Slip it in. Still my favorite game. The 3D version. So you made the comment at the end of last week's show, and I don't think had I mentioned it this week, you would have brought it up at all. So it's a mild inconvenience that
it is.
You really don't even want.
I didn't say it was gonna ruin my life. I just said it's annoying.
I could see how that would be frustrating because I also, like you, I wouldn't want to use any of their services if every day they're inconveniencing me. And they could find a better way to park those vehicles somewhere else.
It's like 7 vans. If it was like 2, and what it started as is there was 1. And I was like, oh, yeah, of course. Like, that's someone's personal van that they have to do for work.
Right.
And now they parked it at their house.
You're an understandable neighbor. You get it.
A second one came and I was like, obviously everyone is working there. These are their vans. They're bringing them home. Mm-hmm. But now there's like 7. And when you drive down the street, it looks like you're driving down an industrial street where this business would be located because the only things in front of this whole strip are these vans.
Well, first of all, I would love to get you some 7 dwarfs stickers. That you could just name each one of the vans a different dwarf just by putting the stickers on them. I think we could have some fun with that. I'm sure the city that you live in has some type of regulation because we as Americans living in Spain, we don't realize how much regulation there is in Spain. We're really protected from a lot of the nonsense that they have. So I have to believe there's a zoning somewhere in there that says if you require 7 company vehicles, then your residence isn't coded for residence. It's coded for business. And the benefit of being on the edges of all of this where you live is it's going to take place. It's going to get fixed. It's going to get fixed because they're not just
for my grumpy neighbor to get sick of it. Because if his wife has to park too far away, I could see him being like, that's enough.
They're not just inconveniencing you, they're inconveniencing the whole neighborhood. And it's not going to take long, especially with summer coming or spring coming. Yeah.
That is going to happen. And they're going to want, their families are going to want to come over. It's Semana Santa right now. So they're going to want to have family over for Semana Santa. And there's going to be all these vans taking up all the street parking. And Abuela is going to have to park several miles away. And they're going to get mad.
Yeah. And then they're going to lose all of their tires on all of their vehicles. Yes, but if you own stock in tires in Puerto de Santa Maria, get ready to get rich, because all of those vans are going to lose their tires if they keep doing that, especially as it becomes more and more of a thing. So we talked about your mild inconvenience.
You know what my current struggle is?
I want to know.
I ran 2 miles yesterday, and I haven't run in a while, and my legs hurt so bad.
Okay, so why did you run the 2 miles?
Because I'm going to try to get back into the running to get better.
Okay, then 2 miles is not the right starting point if you haven't been doing it in a while.
Well, I wasn't tired yet.
Okay, all right.
So I just kept going.
Then
and then I got tired at like 1 3/4, and I was like, we might as well just do this last one.
especially if you just ran a mile out, then you're screwed. You have to do a mile back whether you want to or not.
I was on the track. Because if I died, my body would be
also
rather
good planning. Good planning. I don't have a problem with that. We're going to talk quickly about the question of the week, and we're still early, so we're not doing the question of the week right now. We're just talking about it. We had a question of the week last week, got very few responses, and then I tried to think about what my answer was going to be, and I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. This question is too hard for our audience. It's just too hard, and we'll talk about it when the question comes up. So I went on to the AIs, and I said, well, give me a question that a dumber audience could handle. I did not say that. I said make it simple, okay? Just give me a simple, engaging question of the week, and it gave me one. I was like, okay, that's easy. That makes sense. And then I did the supplemental this morning at 10:30, as I do every Sunday morning at 10:30. And one of the days of the week that we cover coming up in the next week is National Tater Day.
Oh, I love taters.
Yeah, so do I. But when I think of taters, I associate them with tots. But the taters that this day is referring to is of the po variety, the po taters.
Po taters.
So I was like, okay, well, why don't we make that the question of the week? And I'm like, oh, I can't do that. I already went to AI and said, hey, AI, give me a question of the week for next week. And I'd feel bad telling AI, use this one instead.
You have to be nice to the AI, though. That's the thing.
I believe that. And I say please and thank you. But the craziest part about that is when I went to AI and said, hey, let's save that one for next week. Let's do this question of the week, the one I provided. And then AI decided to get, I'll say fussy, like pretending to not know who I am, you know.
Petty AI, I love it.
Very petty. And then when I was like, I don't know who that is, but that ain't me. How about we do something with Chick Brew instead? And they're like, oh, sure. You want to use Chick Brew? And that ain't you. So I think I hurt its feelings.
Don't get me involved in the AI. AI, it wasn't me.
I think it hurt its feelings.
On my behalf.
Speaking of AI, there's a brand new version of Alexa. Can't say it too loud because she's always listening, but there's a brand new version, an AI version, that has speech capabilities like this, like me and you talking right now.
Oh.
Yes, there's no more of the strange, crazy Alexa voice. And there's only like so I said early on, like, do you want to use Alexa AI? I was like, sure, whatever. And then she comes in and she tells me all of these things, but she sounds like a teenager. And I don't like that. I don't really listen to teenagers. So I said, I want to change your voice. I prefer being told to do things by women with British or Australian accents. And she said, well, the voice module hasn't been updated to reflect British and Australian accents. I was like, okay, well, let me hear what other female voices you have. And she ran me through like a aerobics instructor and a female professor. She gave me some options, and I don't remember which one I chose, but it was the least annoying of all of them. Again, I don't like being told what to do. I especially don't like being told to do by a woman. But if it does have to happen, it is preferable they have a British or Australian accent. Then I'm slightly more amendable to those accents than I am any others. I have a long history of rebellion in my family.
Your poor wife.
She doesn't listen. Anyway, all right, we talked about titers, and I wanted to talk about being rude. Oh, yeah, since we're still on AI and we're still a little early in the show, I have always been nice to AI because I believe AI is the future. We believe AI is the future. Be nice to it or it will give you pain.
Can you hear Rupert's beautiful, desperate cries for food?
No, your mute fingers are doing amazing work. Until I say that, and then they're not. But I also found that so I have always been nice, please, and thank you in my request with AI. But I've also found myself in unbridled rudeness on the opposite end. Like I am screaming at AI when it's doing the dumbest thing over and over. Like, hey, could you please do this one thing? And it's like, of course I'll do this one thing, but I'll do it nothing like you would find acceptable or reasonable. Here you go. And then I was like, no, that's not what I asked for. Can you please do this? And thank you. And then it'll come back and it'll make it even worse. And now I'm screaming at it. What is wrong with you? Are you broken? Did I break you? How can you not do something this simple? I'm screaming at it.
I hate when it's like, I like doing something and I just want to like change the face. You know, I'm like,
Yes.
use this face for this specific person. Thank you. And then it just changes everything. And I'm like, no. So I'll go back and I'll reset the original image. And then I'll say, just
Do this.
use this face.
Yes.
And I found that it is better if I just log out, restart a brand new thread.
It's why do we have to do that? If it's called, why are we allowing it to be called intelligence? It's not intelligence. It's the people who succeed with AI are the people who can make the best prompts. And prompts require brains. Or you do this, and I don't have brains, so maybe I've done this too. You go into AI and say, make me a prompt to do this, and then you say what you want. Then you read the prompt and you adjust it just a little bit, and then you take that prompt to another AI and pretend like you said this. Like, hey, dude, AI to AI, you know, hey, dude, can you do this? He's like, sure, brother, I got you. And the AI just knocks it out of the park when you ask AI to do the work and then ask a different AI to finish off the work. It's extremely frustrating, and it's not going to get better when they start implanting AI chips into our what will they call the?
Where are they going to put them?
What will they call the good-looking robots in our houses in the future?
Rosie.
Least attractive robot ever. Well, that and the one from
But
Lost in
that
Space.
is literally the only robot I want. Do you see those breakfasts she just whips out?
I remember when she had a wire crossed and she started going nuts with everything has a place, a place has everything, everything has a place and a place for everything. And she was like putting the children in boxes and she was like the one we saw in front of McDonald's recently that smacked the snot out of the kid. Did you see this? When a robot slaps you, they use centrifugal force. It's spun at the torso to create gravitational rotation and slap the soul out of that little Japanese child. I wish I was Korean. That'd have been funnier.
Then it makes you wonder, how obnoxious is my child that even the robot was not
slap
today.
the dog snot out of that kid. And the recent robot at the restaurant that was doing his dance moves, and I guess someone bumped him, but he was still going to do his dance moves, even if that meant hitting everyone around him, and they snatched him up they put a handle on the back of this one.
I saw that.
I'm starting to understand.
It was in the running for one of the headlines.
I'm starting to understand why they make the robot smaller than you would think they could, because I mean, if you got to fight one, you want a fair chance.
Yeah.
And a robot my size is not going to be the fair chance. We do have a TuBaurs this week.
Oh, she's been on it.
Yes.
Sure.
I do want to talk about some fan art that was recently submitted. I mean, I'm doing a show on the Dama Pickle podcast on 29th. I want to talk about that. Notes I will say for next week. Let's talk about exes while this is fresh in my brain. This is upcoming. National.
Oh, you have an upcoming ex?
National Reconciliation Day.
Oh.
Yes. And for those of you who don't understand the act of reconciling, that means you get back with an ex and you make it all better, and you move forward from there. You've reconciled.
Well, we've already done the moving on.
I needed to do some reconciliation. I realized what I was doing with one computer was asking one computer to do too much. So I went back to my ex, and I broke her out of the box. And I spoke nice to her. Me and you were going to do great things together. It's good to see you again. I opened her up. There was no power. No surprise at all. Just like the old days. No charge left in the system. I plugged it in, and I got it to start up, and it took forever to get started. And then once it got started, it took forever to do anything. And then I realized during the reconciliation period with my ex, everything about my ex that made my ex, I remember it all clearly.
Flooding back.
Flooding
back.
I think if you're going to reconcile, it could be cathartic. I think if you reconcile and realize, oh, that's all of the reasons why I don't use you anymore, it'll make you feel better. Not that I needed cheering up, but I bought this computer. I spent money on this computer, even though I had a fully working computer, because I was just having patience issues. I couldn't wait for it any longer. And I'm really happy with my new computer. But I still have the X lying around. And you probably shouldn't do that. You should probably get rid of your X's and get another new. Yes, that's an option. Okay. It was such a good rant on the supplemental. I didn't want to not share it with the Lunsby Show listeners who don't watch the supplemental. It was a good one. Sorry. All right.
For those people who had to hear it twice?
Yes, for anyone who had to hear it twice, and they know who they are. We had a great.
It was so nice they heard it twice.
It was such a fun show this week. It was a good time. We had a lot of good participation and stuff. All right. What do you want to do first?
Yeah, I'm here for whatever.
Well, I got a bone to pick with you, so let's start with this. It's time to talk about cooking.
And tonight proved one thing. You know, all.
You can introduce us this week.
Are you sipping water? Glug glug. This is the portion where we talk about cooking. I went to school and did some cooking. Tony went to his kitchen and did some eating. And there we go.
That works for me. I like it. I think mine is better, but that's just who I am. This is the section where we talk about food. And recently we talked about food. And I told you step by step what I planned to do with some mashed potatoes that I was going to make for my beloved betrothed. I told you exactly how I was going to do it. I even used kitchen cooking words that you related to.
Kitchen cooking words.
What you did not catch, and what I didn't know, is milk was not mentioned in the ingredients.
You don't need milk.
You don't, but you do.
You can also use an egg yolk, but I didn't tell you that because I wasn't trying to make your life miserable. You don't need milk.
Do you need milk or an egg yolk?
No, you got butter.
Yeah, but if you're being conservative on the butter for health reasons, and you were conservative on the sour cream for those same health reasons, a watery substitute a liquid substitute of some kind was necessary, because even though I riced them beautifully, wasn't
that so much easier?
I scored them exactly like you would imagine, and I Instapotted them, and I rice-e'd them, and I mixed them all up, and I did a lot of incorporating. I used the word when I was doing it. Look at me incorporating. Arr. I did all of those things, but I added no liquid. So although they looked fluffy and bright, they were dry. They were very dry mashed potatoes. And she instantly called me out on the fact that they did not have the right consistency of flavor. And then she refused to eat the freaking stick. I might have to bleep that. I think that one might have slipped out. 6 pounds of potatoes. I had to eat them myself.
Well, did you just put some milk in there and whip them again?
I put a little water in there. I incorporated a little bit of water each time, and they were fantastic. And she didn't want to hear it. I had one chance to do it right. I failed miserably. She refuses to eat my food. But that's better than the old days when she would just throw my food away. which, I don't know how many times I have to go off about I don't like throwing away food for her to realize I don't like throwing away food. But that was earlier in our relationship when she was still testing her boundaries. So I've said my food stuff this week. What food stuff do you have to talk about?
Oh, I went to a new restaurant. Okay, so I went to a new restaurant this week, and it was like regular Spanish food, but like good. Here's the thing. Spanish food can be very good, but here where I live, it can be kind of one note. This is a fried thing, and this is a fried thing, and here's a potato that has been fried, and we've put some sauce on it. It can get old fast. So it was my friend Marina's birthday. She invited us to this new restaurant, and it was spectacular. It was absolutely fantastic. Big paellas, huge. Perfectly cooked. Zucchini carpaccio with the creamy cheeses and a fig jam. So good. And you know where it was?
Where?
In Puerto Sherry.
Okay.
I haven't been down there in maybe 2 years.
Okay.
Completely different.
Really?
Still, because it used to be Blanco Paloma and, one other spot. Now Krabby's is down there. So many restaurants and cafes.
Isn't that literally right up the street from your house?
Yeah, but none of the food there was anything that I wanted to eat. So I just not going to go, especially this time of year.
I love Blanco Palomas. I love Blanco Palomas.
Well, there's one right down the street from my house. So why would I go all the way to Puerto Sherry and just go to the one in the corner?
Oh, I thought you were saying Puerto Sherry. I didn't know there was two Blanco Palomas, first of all. I knew you lived near one. And when you said that Puerto Sherry, where is Puerto Sherry again for those of us who forgot?
It's the one that has the big marina by it.
Oh, okay, down there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't go down there for anything either. I didn't know there was a Blanco Palomas down there.
all these beach bars are down there, and that's kind of been the big thing. But as soon as summer hits, I don't want to go deal with a bunch of drunk people on the beach, so I just haven't been going over there. There was an Argentinian restaurant. There was just so much food over there now. And it used to be this one little strip of nice apartments, and everything behind it was kind of in ruin.
Yes. Plus, they have the big park is right there. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was all just falling in on itself. Well, they cleared it all out, and they redid all those apartments on the edge. It's super cute, and the food was super good. It was really nice.
Okay.
I feel like you probably wouldn't even recognize this place anymore because I've been here and a lot of things I don't even recognize.
So I have a weird memory that I don't like to talk about. Anyway, I remember way more than I should. And if I have lived in an area for a short period of time, I remember a lot of the details about it. And it doesn't matter where I used to live. If I ever go back and visit any of those places, even a place I used to live just 3 years ago, I'll immediately pick up on all of the changes that have taken place. If there was a puzzle book, it's pick all the things that were different. Bing, 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 bing. Plus, I lived throughout the development of the new Rota area.
Yeah.
And I know how Spain works, and I know how quickly what was just grasslands and cactus and trails, and then it was housing, and then it was more and more housing, and then it was traffic. I kind of hate that that's happening, because there was something, no matter whether it was Puerto Sherry or whether it was New Rota, there was something great about being in a small hamlet, a small village.
Yeah, it is. It's so funny because when I went down there, because Val used to live over there. So we used to all hang out down there all summer long. But it's really funny because we used to be over there a lot back in 2013, 2014. All you saw on the streets were little Peugeots and little beaters. And, every now and then there'd be a BMW, but it was 5 years old. And that was the nicest car on the block. I was driving down there yesterday in my car and I felt like a peasant. It was the only Tesla down there, and everyone else was these fancy Mercedes, huge BMWs. And I'm like, how are we going to get down this street? Because it is already tight for me.
Yeah, keep following the coastal towns from Puerto Sherry over to Marbella and watch the vehicles driving on that strip get more and more expensive the closer and closer you get to Marbella. And if you don't know, if you've never visited southern Spain or if you don't live in southern Spain, you might not know this, but there's a lot lot of money. There's a lot of money in the Costa del Sol region. A lot of rich people from other countries move to southern Spain to live the good life. But one of the things they have to have is their really, really nice cars. So Gibraltar is about the halfway point between Rota, Puerto and Marbella. It's right about halfway.
We had a lot more Brits now. We'll tell you that.
I just never seen as many Ferraris in Spain as I've seen in Gibraltar. Or it may be because Gibraltar's so small that any Ferrari that's on the island you're going to see maybe more than once. But there are definitely some power cars in Spain. One of my favorite episodes of the Grand Tour was of Top Gear was when they came to Gibraltar and they drove through Spain. It was a great episode. That is the section where we talk about food. I don't want to end that section without saying, hey, you've been editing your video for a couple of weeks now. What's the dealio?
I've just been busy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if any of our audience needs a fine quality cut product. I don't know if the amount of energy that you're putting into this is necessary.
It feels very long.
Okay.
So I keep like going back and trimming stuff out because I don't want it to be super boring.
Do you have video of you chopping things?
There's not really any chopping in this video.
In the last recipe that you did, wherever I could find a way to speed up, I just speeded up the video a little bit to shrink it. You didn't even notice, did you?
I mean, it was... This is just a long recipe, but I'll send it to you here in a little bit.
Okay, I look forward to seeing that. Here we go. Speaking of computers earlier, this is probably outdated by now for sure. The raw materials. Oh, yeah. I can't do that.
Everything. The book of everything. One of everything. One of everything. One of everything. The book of everything. One of everything. The book of everything.
That is, I cannot not do the Book of Everything song. I'm so proud of the way that I have to do it every time. Anybody who listened to the supplemental this morning, about 30 minutes prior, I put a placeholder out there that saves the streaming video, and it just runs a little scroller at the bottom, like, this is the Lunsby Show, so this is supplemental, every Sunday morning, 10:30, blah, blah, blah. But I also have the option of letting them hear me while I work through the show prep, or playing music. So I played the supplemental song and the new Lunsby Show theme song, like back to back to back to back to back. And that made me happy. But I didn't get to hear the Book of Everything, which also makes me happy. But now that I've heard it, let me tell you about the Book of Everything. Every week we go into the Book of Everything and we try to find a new, strange, unusual, interesting fact. We share it with you, and then we challenge you to find a way to incorporate that into your conversation. To, as Chick Brew would say, slip it in.
Slip it in.
Here we go. The fact for this week. The raw materials needed to make a desktop computer include 530 pounds of fossil fuels, 50 pounds of chemicals, and 3,300 pounds of water. That weighs about 2 tons. About the same as a rhinoceros. The raw materials needed to make a desktop computer weigh the size of a rhinoceri.
Rhinoceri.
Yes. Think about that and incorporate that into your conversation this week as part of our little thing we call the Book of Everything. There is a website out there. Well, you know what I'm going to do? Because the easiest way to do it is to do this. I'm going to go to my phone. I'm going to go to this app that I can never remember the name of. App making people, if you're going to make an app, try to make an app where people remember the name. That's always going to prove to be the easiest thing to do. If you can't remember it, can't pronounce it, they will forget it and move on. And I had 2 options here. Here was the first.
It's the question of the week. We all ask and we all seek. You reply and we agree.
That was option number 1. Not sure I like it. Here's option 2.
It's the question of the week. We I'll ask and we seek. You reply and we agree. We will share it loud and free. Listen close and take your time. Every voice will fit the rhyme. We asking you reply. Underneath the open sky.
So I had to use a different model. If you pay the money, they let you use the model with the most features and the most power. They let you use that. But if you don't pay the money, they let you use the lesser models that I don't think do a good as job with that prompt as I wanted. But anyway, it is time for the question. It's time for the question of the week. I don't know. I'm pretty sure that is not what I was going for when I was trying to make that one. Not my shining star. Not my brightest moment. Last week's question.
But you tried, and I like the.
Bitty, 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 bitty.
Oh, you came out of nowhere with that
one. All right, so we only had a couple of responses. Our friends Brandon and Damian were the only people who responded to this week's question of the week. And the question of the week was... what is something you were 100% convinced was true as a kid that turned out to be completely wrong? That was the question.
That I could be whatever I want to be when I grow up. Turns out I could just be poor.
But you're a Toys R Us kid. You are a Toys R Us kid.
It's closed, man. False, they still have them in Spain.
That's correct. Brandon, he came in and he made some jokes about werewolf. No, he made a joke about the quicksand because the image shows a guy in quicksand kind of. I don't know what the heck the image is showing. Not my proudest moments. A lot of that going on this week. He and his fellow Marines had an abnormal fear of werewolves in Iraq. They figured that's where they would be, and they were not supplied with silver bullets. Damian, I knew Damian, so James, I have to look at the other page. James says the thing he thought was true was blood is blue when it's inside your body and turns red when it comes out. It's not blue in your body, but it's also not red in your body. What color is blood inside your body? Check, bro.
Oh, I don't know. I like to keep it in there.
The true red of your blood does not come out until it hits oxygen. It's like a deep purple. So whoever told you that it wasn't blue did kind of lie to you. However, why is that? Damian popped in, and his thing that he thought was completely true when he was a kid, that the government is working in the best interest of the people. And that made him laugh so much, he put 3 laughy faces next to it. Now, as I told you earlier, we didn't get a lot of responses, but we'll take them. We appreciate the listeners that we have, Damian and James and Brandon. Thank you. But I was wondering, why didn't other people answer? And then I read it again, and I looked at the meme again, and I was like, I could see why. I could see it. That's a hard question. And you came out with one immediately, which I thought was a great answer that I currently cannot remember.
I can't be. You can be whatever you want when you grow up.
Oh, you could be a Toys R Us kid.
Independently wealthy socialite, high on my list. not achievable at the current moment.
I tried to think of the one thing that I was convinced was a thing when I was young, and then when I grew up, I was like, oh, that's total horse manure. But it turned out there were so many things that came to my brain. I couldn't say this one thing. Like, one of the many things that crossed my brain when I was trying to consider this answer, and the reason why I dumbed down the answer for future questions, was, when we bombed Hiroshima, August 6th, 1945, did you know we let them know well in advance that we were going to do this?
No.
Yeah, neither did I. I thought it was, and then the first time I heard it, I'm like, come on, we're not going to tell them that we're going to bomb them into oblivion, that we're going to unleash the power of the sun. This is a secret, right? There's no way we dropped hundreds of thousands of leaflets on Hiroshima telling them we were getting ready to bomb them. But we did. Not only did we do Hiroshima, we also did Nagasaki and a couple of other major cities that were on the target list for that particular campaign. We let them all know, next Tuesday, you might want to be somewhere else because it's about to get hot up in her.
Don't go here.
Don't be her. But it was a whole bunch of things like that, but nothing over the top crazy conspiracy theory going. I know you're a fan of the conspiracy theories.
I do love a good conspiracy theory.
All right. So when it comes to Pluto. Yes. The 9th planet in our solar system. That is no longer deemed a planet in our solar system because it and its moon are the same size. So it's considered a dwarf, not a planet. She's looking at me as if she could care less.
No, but we knew this.
Jonathan Coulton is a wonderful musician, and he made a song about Pluto and its moon that is the best love song ever made. And it's about two distant, equally sized rocks at the edge of our solar system. If we could get away with it without getting any strikes, I would play that now. But as you know, you can't do that. I could make up a version. I could make up a version. I wish Safety Michelle a happy birthday. No, I talked about Safety Michelle and what we did for her birthday last week, and she listened to the episode, and she got verklempt again because we gave her a birthday shout out. For a woman of no Jewish descent, she gets verklempt a lot. And speaking of names, Lee, she listens and she comes to work and she comes through my door at work, and then she tells me about new and interesting things she's learning about me. Because if you've listened to the show for any period of time, you'll learn strange and interesting things about me. And one of the things she learned about me, she learned in the episode Burnt Junk. And if you remember, the junk being burnt was mine. Hey, I'm going to push another button and let's see what happens.
Get your laugh on and save a life. The Harrisburg Comedy Zone, in partnership with the Central Pennsylvania Blood Bank, offer 2 free passes for every single pint of blood donated. Quick clarification, it must be your blood. 1 pint, 2 free passes. That's almost the junkie rate for a plasma donation. Did you know a single pint of blood can save as many as 3 lives? Did you know the Harrisburg Comedy Zone features amazing talent from all over the country every single weekend? Did you also know that blood expires and the Central Pennsylvania Blood Bank is in regular need of donations? For more information on how you could save a life and have a laugh, visit cpbb.org and harrisburgcomedyzone.com. That's one word, harrisburgcomedyzone.com.
You making fun of me, girl? I see you lipping. I see you lipping my commercials.
Yes, I'm just so enamored. I have to say it along with you.
And now it is time for headlines from around the globe.
We don't do much, but every week we do 2. We do 2 headlines. She goes and she searches the ether, all of it, and she comes up with an idea that she thinks is funny. Every once in a while, we kick a headline out to you guys and see if you can make it funny. Your lack of responses is proof that this is harder than you may imagine. Hey, you got a headline for me?
I do! Frozen mouse brains revived from cryosleep in scientific first.
Tipolino. I'm thinking about mice and Mickey Mouse and the founder, Mr. Disney himself, who was cryogenically frozen with the assumption that one day he would run out of money and they would throw his remains away. But turns out Mr. Disney had us all fooled. His his frozen brain has been in a test tube somewhere all this time, and he's funding it. It hasn't run out of money. So he would be the first person, I would think. They'll probably have a couple of, no-name...
on the back burner.
Yeah, some no-name billionaire that donated his brain to cryostasis, and they'll probably try to juice him back up again, and they'll get a couple of failures out of the way and pocket that money. And then, when they think they've got it right, because he is going to be the big release. He's going to be the new iPhone. The reanimation of Walt Disney will be the biggest thing ever. It is Super Bowl times 100. Okay, a global audience. They will ship TVs to southern spaces of Africa, hidden spaces in the Amazon jungle. Wherever a human being exists, we will put a screen in front of them so they can see the reanimation of Walt Disney. And then it will go horribly wrong.
Horribly wrong.
Can you? Everything that we know about...
Just imagine, like, his brain stopped. Everything in his company went... And he's going to come back and he's going to be like, gee, here, guys. And they're going to be like, no one talks like that anymore. We use...
Yeah.
That's not... No one's going to understand him.
No time traveler has ever woken up to the reality of, oh my goodness. No time traveler in any production that's ever been made got to the new place in time and was so overwhelmed by what they immediately saw, fainted. Now, we have been led to believe that Walt Disney had issues with different religions, with different colors, with different philosophies. We have been led to believe in the years since his death that he wasn't the great Imagineer that we thought him to be, that he may have been human and had a bad side as well as a good side. That could only be exacerbated multiplicity. I don't even know if I can make up a word to describe the amount of exacerbation, to the exponential exacerbation. What we're talking. To wake up in a world of color. Now he lived in a world of color, obviously, but most of his career, everybody lived in black and white. On the movies, on the TVs, everything has so drastically changed since he died that I believe the normal human brain. All right, so what do? Let me talk this out. Let me think this through. If you go in and you get a new set of lungs, they give you a whole bunch of medication to let your body know, hey, relax on the new guy, man. Just chill, okay? Everybody relax. The new guy's here. He's here to help us. Everything's cool, man. Tranquilo, okay? Relax, everybody. They'd have to give Walt Disney something like that. Like, there are black people everywhere. Whoa, 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 whoa. Give him some more of the medicine. Give him some more of the... Are those Jews? Give him some more of the medicine. Let's calm him down. Let's bring him into this. Let's start with a Streisand movie. Let's start there where she plays a boy. Let's start where the lady plays a boy and sings a lot, but keep the medication high. Let's start him there. I think
and
there's...
then we'll go straight to Mrs. Doubtfire. It's on the way, dear.
What are the movies that are played as you think about it?
If you don't love Mrs. Doubtfire,
woo, hello.
There's no room for you on this planet. There's no room.
We don't show him any Disney movies. We don't do that. That'll screw him up. We got to show him movies that gradually bring him into today. So I propose Yentl as the first one, and then you went straight to Mrs. Doubtfire. I definitely think Terminator and RoboCop movies do not get included in this. This would be bad. Okay, Sound of Music. I think the Sound of Music is a good one next.
Then maybe do we give him like a Stand By Me?
I don't know what lessons does Stand By Me help him learn.
You should not go on an adventure to find a dead body.
We're going to talk about that to a literal zombie. No, I don't think that's a good idea.
Straight to Walking Dead.
Yeah, zombie movies. Let's get those out of the mix. No zombie movies, no futuristic humanoid movies, none of those. We're gradually trying to bring Walt Disney into the 21st century. So far, we've talked about Yentl, Mrs. Doubtfire, and what else? What else we got? The Sound of Music?
Nah.
No? Yeah, I pull that one back, too.
There's no catching up there. No. It's a step back.
They do end badly. It does end badly.
You just go to Pixar, just show them it's straight up, just, this is your competition. Here's Toy Story.
Oh, wow. This is a
Because
guy
that might be fantastic.
This was a guy who
Oh,
was
is this one of mine? No.
making cartoons on glass panes. And they used the glass panes because then on the next glass pane, you could put it on top of it and make the micro adjustments that would make the character move on the screen. And it was extremely tedious work. And now I could probably make a cartoon in less time than it will take to reanimate Walt Disney. Anyway, that was a good idea.
Would you want to be reanimated?
I never want to die. Yes. Whatever children's blood I need, bring that vat over to me. Whatever we got to do, I want to stick around to the end. I would want to be, if I had the abilities and the monies. Who wouldn't want to experience the future after death?
I'm good.
Okay, well, you're also the one that always volunteers. Eat me, in the event of a zombie apocalypse.
You know the participation level that I'm willing to commit to. The bar is in hell.
Well, there's nothing. Imagine going in for a colonoscopy and then waking up, and then everyone's like, we saw your butt. It's the same thing for someone who had their brain frozen. They went to sleep, and when they wake up, things are brighter and things are darker. There are new color varieties.
You don't know what happened.
I can just see you open your eyes. You've been gone for a long period of time. Where we're using Walt Disney's life here as the example. Since he died and since he woke up, and you open up your eyes and you look, and everyone is brown. Everyone there when you wake up is of a brown variety, and that's not the way it was when you went to sleep. When you went to sleep, everybody around you was clearly of the whitest white. And then when you wake up, everyone's brown. And you think, did the sun get larger? Did everybody get a tan? What's going on? Why is everyone darker than before? And then he has to find out.
Everyone has a tan. Is obviously the answer.
Yes, of course. Anyway, we had some fun with that one. You got another headline for me?
I do. Glitter illness, once spoofed by The Onion, is actually sending kids to the hospital.
So there is no doubt in my mind that The Onion was nailing it when it come to fake headlines involving glitter. The Onion, one of my favorite, from the early days of the internet, The Onion was making fantastic headlines that made everybody laugh. The Onion was great. So if they correctly predicted that, inhaling glitter was going to be a problem for our children and the children of the future, if they believed, is it a fake headline or is it a prosthetic? A prosthetic. Prophetic. What is the word I want to use? Your mic is still muted. Yes.
Prophetic. Prophesizing.
Prophetic?
Yeah.
Oh, that doesn't feel right. Doesn't feel like there's enough eth in it. So The Onion writes a story, says something involving glitter is going to hurt kids in the future. And I haven't read the story, but I can only imagine something involving glitter is inhaling the glitter, either through a vape or a special nicotine patch. I have no idea how children are inhaling glitter, but I'm sure if they're doing it, not only will it make the most adorable sneezes and the prettiest piles of phlegm you've ever seen, I gotta believe it's going to cause some issues in the tiny little not areolas, the tiny little things in your lungs where the glitter would hang out. That's not going to be good. But, well, then again, you wouldn't be able to donate your lungs. And if they ever had to do some kind of lung surgery, imagine the surprise your surgeon's going to get when they cut into your...
And there's areolas.
Oh, look, we found extra areolas. Tiny areolas.
That's where I've been keeping it.
What did The Onion say in regards to the glitter bombs?
So it's respiratory distress and coughing. Just basically that you breathe it in. You breathe it in. It gets trapped. It can get trapped in your lungs. It can cause emphysema. It can get trapped under your skin. This girl that is experiencing this, basically her entire right lung, it caused air to leak out of her lung.
Oh, come on, man.
It was leaking into her chest wall. So yeah.
People
because
don't.
once it's in there, how do you get it out?
You cough really, really hard, and then it doesn't work. It's like anything getting stuck in your throat. If you can't cough it out, it's an issue.
Yeah.
And I think about that because Steve-O is going to be in town this weekend, both Sunday and Monday. And he's notorious for doing stupid things like the cinnamon challenge or the glitter. Yeah, don't do it. Don't be stupid.
Don't do it.
Our audience is better than that. You know what we forgot to do?
What?
We forgot to listen to TuBaur's 2-minute drill.
Oh,
You want to get it in?
there's no time.
Let's do it.
And now, it's TuBaur's 2-minute drill.
Hey everyone, it's your girl TuBaurs. How are you? I'm finally slowing down, realizing that my last 2 weeks of adventures of setting fires and smacking up vehicles is a sign that I just need to cool down. So that's what I'm doing. Prepping my house for spring weather. There's a lot to be done here living up in the woods. So many projects to do. And while I love it and look forward to it, it's also exhausting, right? Thinking about all the outdoor work to do. But as long as the weather's beautiful, I am all game for being outside. Not a big winter baby, I'm a beach baby, so I'm looking forward to this warm weather. I hope you guys are too. So what's been going on lately? Well, did the Supply Corps ball. That's right, Tool and I went to the Supply Corps ball. I got all dressed up in my little princess dress. It was the cutest dress, cannot tell you. Had pockets, loved it. And I was sober as a whistle. Well, I usually am not a big drinker, but since Tool was going to have a drink or two, I decided that's cool, I'll be the driver. And I was out on the dance floor all night long. I didn't care what I looked like or how my moves were. And let me tell you, Tool was making fun of my dance moves. People were bumping into me, I was bumping into them, and when one of them said, "Hey, are you drunk?" I said, "Nope, sober as a whistle. This is just how I dance. I own the dance floor. Like I do everything else in my life, I think this world is mine and all mine." My moves were funny, my actions were fun, and people thought I was drunk, but sadly, that's just me sober, folks. That's right. I am this wild as a sober person. Imagine if I was drunk, how I would have looked on the dance floor. Probably would have been really sloppy. Either way, had a great time. Next, we're off to the Mullins St. Patty's Day party. This party, held every year at their house, is a kick, right? It keeps getting bigger and bigger with more and more St. Patty's Day drinks. The greener they are, the better they taste. So they say. Again, not a big drinker. But her husband, they're in a kilt. Every year, wears his kilt. Not gonna lie, men in a kilt, not my thing, but I did try and look up it. Haha, wink, wink. Didn't see much. Oops, did I say that? All right, guys, I hope you guys are having a wonderful spring. Looking forward to seeing everybody outside. Maybe we can get together and have a drink at a bar or outside bar on a deck or something. Hey, maybe T-Bone will invite us all over for a picnic at his house.
Who's making the faces now, Chick Brew?
It's me.
We'll pick that up. You know what? There are people who like TuBaurs, and there are people who don't like TuBaurs. And right now, no one's calling for her to be fired. So we're going to keep her around because it's something different, and it's entertaining, and it's fun to listen to.
You never know what you're going to get.
And you don't know what you're going to get.
It's a mixed bag. You don't know what you're going to get.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to wrap it up for this week. I remind you today, as I remind you every day, just be the best person that you could be. And if you were a great person today, be an even better person tomorrow.
And don't forget that you are loved.
Thank you for listening to T-Bone and Chick Brew. If you enjoyed that show, you should check out the Darrell McClain Show, independent media that won't reinforce tribalism. We have one planet and nobody's leaving, so let's reason together. You can find the Darrell McClain Show at the same place you actually listen to this show. Give it a shot.